Beautiful people. It's Riz with Riz and the Believers here on the Brutally Delicious podcast. Thank you for having us, Bruce. We appreciate you. Go check out our single, Don't Stop Trying, coming out April 12th.
One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Bam.
There you go.
Here we
Cool.
have.
Sorry about that, but thank you. I'm glad it's gonna all work out.
Absolutely.
Hey, anyway, thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for
Where are
having
you at? You're in Arizona?
Troy.
Troy, where are you at?
Florida.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Florida.
Nice. Nice. I see the nice
Yeah.
sunshine
Yeah,
behind you. That's pretty.
It's beautiful out here. It's been great. Been out here for about a week. Rizz and I came out here and we just played a reggae festival called Reggae Rise Up. And we were on the Sugar Shack stage, which was great. So we did a little half-hour set,
Nice.
and here we are. So I'm still here. Rizz left yesterday back home, so he's back in Nashville right now.
Gotcha. All right, we can just jump in if you want. How did this project come about? Because it seems like you guys are on polar opposites of the spectrum in the music world, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's cool. Yeah, we are, man. That's the beauty of the project, is because we're kind of coming from different worlds and creating something different. Originally met Troy through his son working out in Dublin, and Troy, had gotten sick, so called Senior to come help out with the project and put some drums on what we were doing and kind of get him a part of what me and Junior were working on. And so we really, it started in the Bay Area for us, and it was me, him, and his son working together, and then just kind of through that, it led into, me moving out to Nashville. Kind of long story short, Troy giving me a call and saying, "Hey, man, let's continue what we did through after COVID happened and all that." He'd call me afterwards and said, "Hey, man, what are you doing? Let's get you out to Nashville and finish what we started in the Bay." And so that led to me moving here. Kind of one-way ticket kind of story, booked my ticket. 4 days later, I showed up on his doorstep and said, "You ready? Let's do this." And so couldn't have landed at a better place. If anybody knows Troy, he's a wonderful person, first and foremost, and a very talented. I think most people know him as, one of the greats as far as the drumming world and just as people. So couldn't have ended up in a better place. And then me and Troy just really dove into this project. I was working on a lot of this music, and Troy just kind of dove in with me and wanted to help create this sound. And really kind of took the forefront and said, "Hey, man, I love what this is. I love the message. It's something different from music wise, I think, message wise and everything, and whatever, it's still it's good music, but he liked the change. I feel that for him, and it was something new and fresh, and it was something new for me too. I had never really gotten to work with somebody like Troy. I've always done stuff by myself. I was in my garage kind of doing my own thing and built my own studios and recording myself. And so to have somebody of his caliber kind of come around and kind of take me under his wing and say, "No, we're going to make a real record. Let me show you how it's done," so to speak. And brought in some heavy hitters and some friends of his. He's got lots of those wonderful connections. And man, I'm just so grateful that this has all happened the way it has. It's been a magical ride, and it's something that I feel is going to inspire the world, man, to continue to follow your dreams and chase your passion and do what do what's right in your heart, whatever you feel you're supposed to do. Just kind of start with that, I guess.
Troy?
Now,
Troy.
you guys are breaking up a little bit. I'm getting, yeah, okay, yes. Yeah, for me, yeah, Rizz just kind of shared the backstory. Started with my son in California. My son had a surgery. Rizz was there working with him and taking care of him. And like he said, say, "Hey, Dad, Can you put some drums on this stuff? And I was there for about 3 weeks. And coming out of there, I just said to him, "What are you doing with this kid?" I said, "This kid's a superstar." I said, "We really need to do more than production, and maybe we can take him on as manager kind of thing, but we're not really technically management, but I have a lot of friends, and if it makes sense, we could bring somebody in at the time it makes sense." And I just became an instant fan of Riz. I mean, I heard his stuff, and you haven't heard the record yet. We have a phenomenal record. Riz is the next thing on the planet you're going to see. I believe that's getting ready to take care of itself. That's why I'm doing it. I love the music. I love the message. And first and foremost, him. So it was just sometimes things happen because they have to. And I feel that this is definitely one of those situations that's very spiritual for us in that connection, in that world. And just the way it's landed. He moved here 2 years ago, so we've been
Right.
working on this for a minute. This just hasn't come together, and I've put everything on the line. I was out with a Guess Who last year for about 7 months, and I did about 35 shows with them, and I got into that, and I loved the music, and it was a different thing, and I loved the guys, and I that's why I hooked up with Michael Devin. He was playing with the Guess Who at the time before he went to the Dead Daisies. And then Michael Sterto, he was with 10 years with Luke Graham. So you probably know some of the story, maybe through the press release. I'm not sure if you do or not. But and then Peter Keys, brought Peter in from, Skinner, and everybody just kind of fell right into place, and everybody felt exactly like I feel about what we're doing. I mean, we all have gigs and stuff, but this, for me, there is no other gig. This is my last stop. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm called to do, and here we are. So now, with the release date of April 12th,
Yeah,
have you heard the song?
I have. Don't Stop is great.
And
I love there's a whole bunch of things I like about it. First off, as an audio engineer or whatever, I love the mix, especially in the beginning with those great big reverbs on those snares, and it sets up the whole scene. And then it's just a great modern day reggae meld, and I really dig it. Did I hit it?
You did, you
Did I
hit
get
cool.
it. Better than you not liking it, man. We'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank
So a minute
Yeah.
ago, a minute ago, Troy, you said you were talking about, it was sort of spiritual. How spiritual was it playing at Tough Gong or recording at Tough Gong? That's
Oh
like the
my
Mecca, right?
God. I got to tell you something. You just got I got the
truth bumps, baby.
goosebumps, and I'm like, that's how spiritual it is. I mean, I'm feeling it to this day. And the beautiful part, I didn't know this music. Riz, I'm gonna let Riz jump in on that because he can tell you his background because he started as a rapper, and then John Salloway, who came with us, I call him our secret weapon. And same thing, these guys know everything about that world. I didn't, it was not a world I was familiar with.
Right.
So go ahead, Riz, tell them all about it.
Yeah, man, it was spiritual. It was just to be able to be blessed with that opportunity growing up, I still got the Bob Marley blanket on my bed, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Right.
It's just like he's been on my wall, and it just kind of he's been a part of my life, just kind of subconsciously just kind of been there. I think we all have those idols as we grow up, and just naturally Bob Marley's kind of been that one for me. Um, and I feel because it is his message and just what Bob stood for and his peace and unity and he's just so powerful of a person and his spirit. And so it always just resonated with me and been a part of my life. And so um same getting to know John from working on this project, he was kind of the same way. And just how that opportunity came, John couldn't make it to a show, so he gave me and Troy the tickets. He said, Stephen Marley is going to be in town at the City Winery in Nashville. You guys have to go. I got you, take my tickets, and, just you have to show Troy Stephen Marley, because Stephen's a wonderful producer, an amazing drummer, an awesome songwriter. I mean, all of these, a lot of the Marleys are really mega talented. We saw them headline with, him and Damien just this couple days ago, and it's a
Right.
phenomenal show. So, Troy got to see that world, and it was a really amazing show. And afterwards, Squidly Cole, who's been a drummer for the Marley family in that camp for many years, since '93, doing the world tour with Ziggy, comes out of back and introduces himself to Troy. Squidly's dad's a kind of a reggae legend and, credited for one of the first reggae songs. And so it was just weird. He's like, man, giving Troy lots of respect as drummers. They were kind of doing their thing. And Troy's like, man, well, I'm working with Rizz, this is my kind of thing. It's kind of reggae style and kind of Rizz rap, man, do your thing, show them what you got. And I'm like, on the spot. So I start rapping and he ends up saying, well, why don't you guys come out, take you to Bob Marley's studio and we'll make some music. And I'm nudging Troy like, yeah, please,
Great.
don't miss this,
Yeah.
don't miss this up, man. This is awesome. And Troy, he's like, we're coming. Yeah, he's like, we can do whatever you want. He says, I'm taking you up on that. We're coming to Jamaica. And, lo and behold, like we ended up there 4 months later, whatever it was, we stayed in contact. We showed him some music. He loved it. He especially loved the drums, which is really cool because um, we don't trying to be anything. We're wanting to be who we are as individual artists in a collaboration collective project to create something that's unique, something that's fresh, something that breathes but has an impact and that's new. And I feel that we're doing a good job because Troy is not a reggae drummer, but he's got a feel and he's got his thing. And I'm not a classically trained singer. I'm not, and I think that's important because people kind of hold themselves back if they're not this thing. It's like be you. There's only one of those. And so um getting out there, it was just really it was a big moment, man. Getting to create in a studio, that, Rita Marley started that studio, in honor of Bob. And
Right.
what was really cool to me is that through the experience and getting to be, within that energy, um, we were able to do, a live, which is on our YouTube channel at Risen Believers, a live in Tough Gong, version of Don't Stop Trying with Squidly Cole and Troy on congas, which is like you got this rock and roll guy with this Jamaican dude, both two different worlds on congas, kind of doing their thing. And that was really cool,
That's like lightning in a bottle, right? I mean, you're not going to get that again.
No,
But the crazy, Bruce, the beautiful part of this story is we were there. Riz and I were at home, and Squidly calls us like FaceTime. What do you call that program?
what's
WhatsApp,
that?
I think it was. I get a WhatsApp and it's Squidly, and I'm like, hey, I get on the phone and we're talking and we're recording, and he's hearing the music we're recording, and he loves it, and he's like, man, start sending me that stuff. As we were sending it to him, we put our plan together to get out there. And then while we were there, we didn't plan any of that. What happened was we had a little break. Squidly went out to get lunch. And we did a little thing. We said, hey, man, let's just set this acoustic stuff up so we can capture something and let's just go for it. That was literally one take, one camera, not planned, off the cuff, just happened and we got it. Like you said, it was lightning in the bottle. And it was so beautiful because of the way it came together. And that's the excuse me, the beautiful part of the story is that's kind of what's been happening the whole journey. I
That's
mean,
kind
it
of when
just
you know you're
keeps
onto something, right?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then this whole I'll let Riz tell you about the Sugar Shack thing because that's what we just did this weekend. We go ahead and this was a complete it's just the stars just keep lining up.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I've always been sure, and I've always said to everybody when I started working on this project, I says Riz isn't no, he's not an arena act, he's a stadium act. And we're going to prove that. I mean, 4 years from now, we'll be in stadiums. That's what I believe. And that's just how I see it. Because I know what that is. And I know what it is. And I know the music that we have. It's that special. It really is. It's just coming from such a higher place. And it's exciting. But this connection that happened to Sugar Shack and how we ended up there and the Marleys were there. And I'll let you take it, Riz.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, on the tail end of that, the Tough Gong, it was magical, man. And we all had a wonderful time, and Squidly enjoyed it. And even the engineer was like, man, this was a breath of fresh air for us because we're doing a lot of, traditional stuff. And so to have you guys come in and actually bring something fresh, it was nice for us to work on, and that meant a lot to us. And
Oh, yeah.
That was a big, big compliment, and so, big up to those guys. We love them so much, man. And I hope we can be back for sure. But then it kind of led to, going into being in this festival was just another magical thing. I mean, we had general admission tickets to go to this festival because again, I wanted Troy to see the people and the culture and the music and get to really indulge in it in a 4-day festival. And I said, man, at least just come out for one day to see the Marleys, in a different setting, in a big festival
Right.
setting. And, because Troy's never really been a part and, done those kind of things. He's always been back behind the stage and, doing that side. So I'm like, I just want you to feel the crowd, man. That's why I love reggae, is the people. And, and so we are have our general admission tickets. We're going as guests. And John Salloway turns out, as he's doing a show in Florida, a couple months ago, somebody says you should check out the Sugar Shack. So he follows some people connected to that. Well, one of the founders contacts him and says, John, I don't know if you remember me, but you gave me my first pair of cymbals and got me into music when I was 15, through their church. And so all of a sudden it comes full circle. And he's like one of the founders of Sugar Shack, which is one of the top leading channels in reggae. They have 500,000 subscribers. They've 10 years in now, and they've managed to actually have their own stage within the festival and do all the content for Reggae Rise Up Florida.
Oh,
And
nice.
so they film the entire set. They have killer camera crew that films the full thing, and they'll do a mix down that we'll get in a couple months. So turns out we go do our Today in Nashville debut with the full band. And as we're sitting on the couch watching it come streaming live on the thing, John calls me, says, guess who's playing Reggae Rise Up Florida? And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And I guess somebody had backed out, and Eddie had called John and said, hey, you guys want a shot and to open up the whole stage and the festival and the Sugar Shack stage. And so we went from general admissions to now performing with all the biggest of the best, out there in Florida.
Right. So
And
there's that lightning again.
there's that lightning. And I wouldn't have had it any other way because I would have been nervous, man, if I had known prior to. I was like, I'm glad it came last minute because I would have hyped myself up and maybe talked myself out of it. I was like, really? Um, but again, much love and respect to all the artists this weekend because there's a lot of good talent out there and just very grateful and humbled to be a part of that whole scene and the Sugar Shack family. They treated us like family and can't wait to see that stuff. So that'll be something that we'll be able to release in a couple months too.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was
So
all
what's next for you
documented with
guys? Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
it was a six it was a 6 camera shoot, so we're gonna get the content in about 8 weeks, and we did 5 songs.
Oh, nice. You gonna chop that up for single releases?
I think, everything to my knowledge, we keep it on their channel because that's how they kind of, they film it, they put us on their stage. So everything will be available on the Sugar Shack channel. And if you go to that, you'll see all the amazing artists. It's not just, reggae either. I think it's a lot of
Right.
just different amazing artists. So, yeah.
It's great. So what's next for you guys then? I know the record is what, the 12th of April?
Don't Stop Trying comes out April 12th, with the music video that's attached to it, which is it got a whole nother story behind it. These interviews could go for hours. But we went into PGP, which is I think one of the biggest, production facilities here in the country or the nation. And he Troy had kind of helped put that together as well. And we went into PGP and built a full-on music set with this like kind of like this mystery land, this kind of dreamland, because this is kind of my dream coming together, being able to work with some of the world's best musicians and coming from the biggest little city in the world. This has been a dream of mine. And so we painted this dreamland picture that happened to just come together in a dream form. So happens to be. And so we went in for a couple days, built out a full music video set. They had one of their big rigs for the music festivals that they were servicing. So we set up under the big lights and shot a music video underneath that. And that's going to be releasing as well on the YouTube channel on April 12th as well. And kind of dive into the world of Rizz and the Believers and kind of,
Beautiful.
watch our dream come true in real life form, as well as kind of seeing it was cool because I was able to really build my own set with all these props that was from the Nashville Zoo that had been given to a friend of ours. And so he had him just laying around his yard in his house. He's got a killer property. And so we took all the butterflies and lotus flowers, and there was a
That's great.
yeah, flying whale, and created this land, this dreamland, and set up all of our people within inside of it. And, that's the debut of Rizz and the Believers and Don't Stop Trying, which is really just a song for perseverance, you know, um, overcoming, obstacles and self-doubt that we all face in all many different facets and ways in our life. No matter what you do, it relates to, to just pushing on through, and now, and to don't stop trying, because, if you do that, you never know what can happen. But if you do stop, then,
You'll
there,
never
that's,
know.
so that's more for me. It's more about the message and the purpose of behind what we're doing, behind the music. It's just the music that allows us to get that message across.
Um, if fans want to find you, can you give us all your socials?
Yeah, it's all Rizz and the Believers, Risen, Rizz, and the Believers with a Z. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, um, and we'll have our website launching on the 12th as well, loverizz.com. And yeah, man, check us out. Subscribe to that YouTube channel. We need all the subscribers we can get. Go, become a fan on the Facebook page. All the support we can get, as it definitely helps us. That's kind of how we benefit on the back end. And if you can share everything that we're doing and talk about it. And as I say, join the movement, man. Don't stop trying. Join the movement. And let's inspire the world together.
I love your positivity. I love your energy. And really, it seems like we've been talking about it 100 times. That lightning is following you around. So, man, good luck. I
Yeah.
appreciate what you're doing.
Thanks, Bruce. We appreciate you, man. We're excited as well and grateful to be here.
Troy, did I
Yeah,
miss anything?
thanks for having us.
Oh,
Uh,
absolutely.
no, I think I don't want to take up too much time on your channel here, so I think we're good. We appreciate you taking the time for us.
Absolutely. So, two things before we go. One, Troy, thank you so much for all of your contributions to the rock and roll world, metal world. Much appreciated. Long time. Thank you guys for taking the time. Good luck with the single, and keep riding that wave.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Cheers.
All righty.
Good
Cheers.
talking
Thanks.
to you. Bye, Troy.